What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that your week's off to a great start. I was loving Monday's energy. I hope you did too. Today's got some good energy too, so let's pull up the chart and jump into this bad boy. We are going to see the sun come to 8 degrees, kind of finish up this 8th degree, and it's making great aspects to Saturn, which is at 8:57, getting ready to come to 9 degrees. So we are in this sun sextile Saturn day. Pretty great in a sense because we're in Sag. We're trying to look at the big picture. We're trying to look at the big story that we can create for ourselves to have a hope, but base the hope around common sense and what makes sense really to your ultimate truth. And this Saturn's saying, hey, if you want to go into the future, it's got to meet with your big truth. What is your big truth? And are you ready to solidify what that is in your life and kind of make it real so we can have these big visions? Also, Mercury's going to come to 10 degrees and it's breaking away from the sun. Like, we can have some far out sort of ideals and concepts that we're ready to work for and get kind of like the ball rolling for. And as long as they make sense to you and your environment, like, I think they have a solidarity, a backing behind them. And this is where we can dedicate to this new story in a really positive way. We're also seeing the moon in Libra getting ready to finish up there, but it's going to make really nice aspects over to Jupiter with a trine today. And it is also going to quincunx Neptune. And this Neptune is 1 day away from stationing direct. So it is stop skirt. So not only with all the Sag aspects that we have, but this Neptune that's stationed, like, we're pretty far out there, for sure. It can almost feel confusing because it can almost seem like the universe is opening a lot of doors, if you will. There's like a lot of option out there. There can be like a lot of ideals out there, a lot of visions. And again, these are all great, and especially if they feel good to you, but it's almost like we got to negotiate like the visions that are most suited to your individuality, to your independent truth, and what's kind of liberating you with the Jupiter in Aquarius here. Like, let's liberate ourselves to the highest form of our frequency, to what makes, like, that we've done all the collecting, we've done all the dot connecting for, and let's go all in on that and kind of take a risk for that aspect and not be too confused about it, because this Neptune station can be a little confused. And Mars is done with the trine, and Venus is actually going to be in a nice drawn out sextile to that Neptune. So really it is about grounding in what is solid in your life that you're trying to make real. So if you have these beautiful visions, well, it's time to kind of get the ball rolling on what that is. And hopefully it's what's already kind of showing up for you with this North Node in Gemini, as you've done all this sort of fact collecting and, you know, finding of your truth and your message. And this is like taking that message and bringing it into physical form by not weighing things out too much. Although with Jupiter and trine, it can feel like, yeah, there's so many options that we can weigh out. And that might feel good, actually, because it might feel like there's so many doors open, but it can also be sort of confusing, if you will. So there's a little bit of that. So it's about the stuff that's confusing probably isn't like resonating. So I would say, like, why negotiate things that don't make sense when you could have a very clear understanding of what's going to bring the beauty and the aesthetic of your physical world that you're trying to create, that you want to work for, that you want to have into existence for you. The moon's also going to square off with Venus and Pluto today. So, you know, that's a thing, you know, that's a thing today. I think there's a lot that we're trying to process, but it's also about really like getting real about the things you want, the things that are going to make you feel good, the relationships. I think relationships come up big today with a moon in Libra, of course, square the ruler of Libra, Venus, which is in pre-retrograde shadow, really slowing down here, and in that sextile to Neptune. It just reminds me, to be honest, of like really bossing up to bring the vision of this story that you're ready to create, because we're realizing that we're done with a lot of old stories that we tell ourselves. And it's like, this is where we got to really just be the ultimate diplomat and come to a conclusion, come to a decision, and kind of like, let's boss up and make that decision, make things real. Whether it is relating or whether it's about the values in your life and what you really want to have. These are things that, like, I think we can start planning for, while simultaneously, as I've been saying, being open to the plan changing. But again, there's so many beautiful options. We can feel like there's so many doors open right now. We at least gotta try and see what one of these doors that makes the most sense can bring, because it might bring some amazing things. And the moon square Pluto is definitely having us, really intensely get down to what we want emotionally when it comes to people in our lives, and when it comes to the balance that we're looking for, that we want to justify. And the only way to justify that is to boss up and make a move, and to kind of take steps for it. So I think this is one of those days where, especially on a Mars day, action-oriented day, it is about, and even with Mars in that trine to Neptune and sextile with Venus, like this is about really moving towards your desires, really moving towards like the thing that you feel like is going to stick the most, and giving it a shot, going for it. Roll the dice, if you will. Like, why not take a little risk for what you really, really want? Whether it's with a person in your life, a job, a new career even, or whatever. Roll the dice. Give it a shot. Like that's what I'm gonna do today. And because I think that we're at a point where we don't have to weigh out our deepest truth or our deepest desires that much anymore. Like they're there, and it's just ready for us to make a move for them, and to see if that door opens up. And if it opens up, I think that's how we'll know that it's really a part of the next story, without just, ego kind of forcing us in directions that maybe we think we have to go, that are part of an old story, but being like open to the new story. And it is the sun at 8 degrees. So it's a serious day that's asking us to dedicate to our highest truth, to what we're looking for out in the great void, and how we can bring that into our environments, to our physical form, and what's going to make us feel the best while doing it, and kind of not leaving room for the other side to negotiate. Like, no, that's not part of my desires. It's not part of my truth. And I'm tired of that story. So we can have some pretty good boss up energy today. We can feel pretty dedicated to this new story that really is about to start. And this is the moon finishing up in Libra. It's about to come into Scorpio and be a dark moon in Scorpio. That's intense. So we got a couple days, here ahead, with Neptune stationing direct, and a moon going into its dark balsamic phase in Scorpio, that we want to own up to what we're looking to build right now, and solidify those things that are going to bring beauty and magic into our life. And of course that involves people, very, very much so. So a lot of this is about the groups in your life, the friends, the tribe, and what that looks like. But I do like today's energy a lot. It's having us like look at the surface and make sure that it matches with the depth. And are we ready to expand with the deepest of our truths and our desires, and kind of try something different that we feel ultimately like really divinely guided to? I think, there's something about Neptune that's always trying to show us the other realms. It's trying to show us what like the universe really wants, and it can be very magical, but it can also leave us not paying enough attention to what is real and what's like right in front of our face. And I think this is where there's so much to take from and pull from right now, that you don't want to like look over the magic. Like you really want to focus in on what the magic is that's real to you, and make it happen. Sending you all my absolute best, as always. Hope you have a great Tuesday. I like today a lot. I think it's getting us ready for some big moves that we're getting ready to make, as we're coming up on a solar eclipse, and it's very fated times. The universe is dropping breadcrumbs right now to show you where that door is that you want the most. And if you're paying attention, you're gonna see right where that is. And it could easily be overlooked, because I think that they're kind of small breadcrumbs, but intuitively you'll know. You don't even have to see them with these two eyes. It's more this eye, to be honest. Some third eye. Use it. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. maybe it's just there's so many things that we do want or think that we need from the old story to keep us comfortable or to keep us secure. And it's just like we kind of got to risk it to actually find what that comfort or that security or those values or those things that we can create and bring to life actually are. And I think today's like stop negotiating with, taking the risk for your deepest desires. Like try it. Put your, dip your toe in. See how the water feels, and if it's too hot and it's not comfortable, maybe that's saying something for both ways. But it's like, how do you intuitively decipher what that's going to be, and are you willing today to not just get taken out of your sort of power and feel like you can't find comfort right now, when it's almost like you can take the action to make life more comfortable by taking a little bit of a risk on a day where we could be like, I don't know. The risk isn't always comfortable. And that's what I'm kind of getting from this. But it's almost like just a little risk. It doesn't have to be like the full on, like just all in risk. I don't think it's ready for that. But it's like maybe we got to break our comfort zone just a little bit to see what it's like and what that can bring us moving forward. I love you all very much. Hope you have a beautiful Tuesday. Much love. Peace.